Okay guys, I'm here today with Brian Glick. Huge honor for me, Plácido. And guys, Brian this week is shooting the third part of the Under the Pressure series that he is creating. And this one is going to be all about leg entanglements. So the first one was under pressure clamp.
Yes.
Second one, under pressure half butterfly. And now third and last one of this series, right. Under pressure leg entanglements, right, Ryan? And guys, Brian is one of the first students of John Danaher. So he is the one who probably spent the most time with John. And you guys will notice how good he teaches, which I think you might have learned a lot from John or Brian. Yeah, and but anyways, today he's gonna show us here one of his favorite moves. That's it's a leg entanglement coming out from the clamp. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's do it, Brian.
Okay, so as Bernardo was saying, one of the first elements that we worked on in this under pressure series is the clamp position, and I have explained it in the past as saying like this was one of the moments where when John taught this, I was like, oh, you know what, I can do jiu-jitsu. It was a really important moment, and it's super effective as a way of understanding inside position and the way that we can learn to control our partner. So when we work the clamp position, a lot of times there are plenty of places we can go from. We can start from closed guard, we can do it from the half guard and knee shield positions, but it always works around the idea of getting our arms to the inside position of our partner's arms. So we want to bring our arms down to the partner's arms down to the floor, and we're going to create a little bit of space. We're going to unlock our legs, and we're going to bring our legs into this configuration where we're on our side here. When we're on our side, that allows us to slip one knee here in front of our partner's shoulder and our second leg across the back. And this is the essence of the clamp position. We have our heel and knee connecting. We have our front knee here blocking our partner's shoulder. So if Plácido were to drive forward into me, this knee would stop him. And then we have the second leg on the top that's helping us to control posture. Because the closer Plácido's head and arm are to us, the easier it is for us to attack. So you can see pretty easily when the arm is here, we have opportunities to go into attack from omoplata. We have udigatami variations here where we can begin to attack, or we have kimuras. There are a number of other things, and we cover some of these in the clamp instructional. But one of the big problems that people face when they're learning how to do the clamp, and I've heard from people since the video came out that they're asking this question, what about when your partner begins to posture up here? So when your partner squares their body up and brings their head up, it becomes difficult for you to keep that connection, and they're able to take their arm out. This is a really kind of, it's a good question to ask. What are we supposed to do when we go from the clamp to a position where our partner squares up and starts to posture? Well, this is an ideal time for us to go from an upper body attack to a lower body attack. The one that we're looking at today is going to be a K-guard variation, where we take our legs and we invert the close knee. At the same time, we get a scoop grip here. So we place our knee underneath our partner's leg in this space. Our second leg is here across our partner's hip, so we've got a good connection on one side and the other side. Sometimes when people do K-guard, they like to get a grip here on the leg and pull it across. Oftentimes it's difficult to do this when your partner is kind of putting pressure in. So for that reason, instead of locking our two hands here, we're going to take our pinky and we're going to put it up high. So as Plácido goes to smash me here, we have this cross frame. Yeah, it's very difficult. Then we're going to take our knee here to our foot and we're going to extend everything away. So I'm going to push in order to be able to move him out. Sure. Our foot is going to transition from one side of the body to the other. And now we've got connection on our partner's spar hip. We can take our leg out, pass it up over the top, and then because sometimes it's difficult to just throw your foot in here, and some people are really flexible and they can do that, we're going to get a grip high on our partner's ankle and low down here near their knee, and then we're going to push off of the floor to bring our hips up so that we can fit our legs into this position. Sometimes you can even take your leg out here and get a good connection on your partner's second leg.
Yep.
So originally we were really focused on connecting our legs to our partner's upper body in the clamp. Through the K-guard, we can use our legs to connect to our partner's lower body. Once that happens, we have a chance to lift up our partner's leg, we can expose the heel, and now we have very good attack opportunities. We can drive our partner's knee down into the mat, and we have a finish. And if he goes to try to rotate through, again, this kind of theme of connection, we're staying glued and connected to our partner. We have the ability to use our legs to join not just connection here on the leg that's close to us, but the leg that's far away. And now we have a really strong position where we can start to look to finish our partner.
That's awesome. So Brian, so the bottom line here is kind of like the clamp is an upper body attack, and if they defend the clamp, they're probably exposing the lower body attacks.
Exactly, and this was one of, there were so many over the years, there were so many concepts that I think John brought to light through his instruction, not just his instructions through BJJ Fanatics, but the stuff that we were learning from him day to day. And the idea of not just developing a good, strong leg lock attack game, but the idea that you can transition from an upper body attack to a lower body attack and lower to upper. And if you watch Gordon and you watch Gary and you watch Giancarlo, they're always transitioning up and down, up and down. And so this is a really good way of understanding how you can, first of all, why it's so important, because you can't always use your legs and your arms to hold on to your partner's upper body, but how you can start to study transitioning from upper to lower attacks. And I think that especially if you're a smaller person or you're an older person, your likelihood of finishing your first attack is not always that great.
I agree.
I agree. So to have an effective jiu-jitsu practice, it makes sense to be able to attack in 2s or 3s. And this is a really good way to start.
Yeah, no, and one thing I was thinking while you were talking, it's like, it almost sounds to me that with gi, we use sideways more than upper body and lower body. And no gi sounds like upper body and lower body is more important than sideways. Because, for example, I think with gi, you try one spider guard sweep to this side, the guy defended, you go to a triangle, you go to the other side. But it sounds like it's kind of started sideways.
Yeah.
And no gi, it almost feels like it's always going like up and down, up and down, up and down. Am I right? Or
I think that because it's a little more difficult in no-gi to get the sort of connection that like pulling someone overhead is a little bit more challenging. You don't have any of the handles that you need to be able to off-balance people. So, I think that the ways that we off-balance people in gi is much different than no-gi. And one of the big things that we're talking about in this video also is the idea of off-balancing somebody first. And so in the gi, there are so many different ways that you can, because once you get your handles, once you get a cuff grip or collar and sleeve and all these things,
we can turn the serial and
you can start to twist and turn people. We have to have a way of doing that no gi also.
Good.
And if you're only relying on collar, sleeve, and your partner doesn't have a collar and sleeve, it goes back to, even self-defense based jiu-jitsu. If the person doesn't have a gi to grip, how are you going to do your work? So we want to be able to do that.
Can you do one, Brian?
Sure. Yes, absolutely. So when we're working here and we're working for the clamp, we're looking to create space, we're looking to kind of get this connection here. If you are able to posture up and you're starting to bring your head up here, it makes sense.
My legs are getting lighter.
Exactly.
Your legs are getting lighter.
And now I don't want you driving back into me, so we're going to put this frame in place, and then we're going to configure our legs here. Now, if we stay in this position and you bring your head over my head, it's hard. You're much bigger than me, and it's there's a lot of pressure. So one thing that we can do is we can start to look to push and get your weight away. So your head and your hands move away from us.
And it's hard for me to come back.
It's pretty hard for you to come back. And now we have this leg that's waiting here for us. So we're going to push it out, and now we can start to work to get our position. And I've pushed you away enough so that in terms of pressure, it's difficult for you to put a lot of pressure on me. And now from here, we can start to look to feed our legs into a place where we've got a really meaningful connection.
It's tight already.
And when you go to pull away from this position, Bernardo, you'll feel that the connection is pretty good. Once we get here, we start to push the knee down to the floor. And now the floor and gravity and our drive down helps us. So as you go to straighten your leg and take the leg out from here, it's difficult. Because the angle now, where we are in this backside position, it's pretty bad.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And even if I turn, you would just keep going.
Exactly. So from this position where we're here, even if you wanted to start to rotate through, it's difficult. I'll be able to follow you because, we've been talking about the idea of forming a connection. Not just an attack on the leg, but like a good connection. And now from here, we're linked in.
My God.
And life gets pretty uncomfortable.
No, and I felt that while I was turning, in that meantime, you were also pushing. You didn't push now, but Many people might tap in that knee
I think
time.
so.
Yeah, man, that's incredible.
Yeah, so you know, it's a really, I think it's a really important skill for people to have.
Okay. And you do the opposite as well, Brian. For example, you attack lower body first, and then you go to the upper body.
There are absolutely ways that we can do that. An example of that might be a situation where we are working for a leg entanglement underneath. Maybe we're working here and we feel like we're trying to drive forward. I'm trying to scoop your legs and I feel like you're flattening me out and things are not working out. We can go the opposite way too and convert from maybe not a full ashigarami, but a situation where we're trying really hard to get through underneath our partner, but we're just getting smashed. And it's cases like this where we can steal inside position and move back into the clamp. So that's one example. We have some others that we talk about in the video.
Oh man, I love it. Yeah, so guys, this is the third part of the series, Under Pressure, that Brian Glick created. And this one is all about leg entanglements, and he's one of the best ones at it, especially for the small guys, because as you can see, how much he weighs, Brian?
Maybe on a good day after I've eaten a good meal, maybe 160.
Yeah, so this is the, and how old are you?
I'm 47.
Yeah, so I think this is, especially if you're older, lightweight, and you're learning no-gi, this is gonna be one of the best people to learn. And even if you're heavyweight, if you're younger, he is over there with John all the time and has a lot of experience. He was the one who spent the most time with John from all the students, so there's a lot of knowledge here. So make sure to check it out. The instruction is going to be at bjjfanatics.com very soon. Maybe by the time you're watching, it's already there. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you, Plácido. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Bernardo.
This was awesome.
Thank you.
Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. And to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTubeFaria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.